Hey guys, welcome back and happy Sunday. All right, guys, well, we're back with some Erika Girardi news because she's sharing a new claim about the $750,000 earrings, and she's saying that she's never backing down despite losing the case. Plus, she's asking for another case to be dismissed. So we have an update, and before we jump in, you guys know how this works. If you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and with that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so we know the story with everything that's going on with Erika. We know that Tom Girardi was accused of embezzling money from his former clients, and Erika is now being named in lawsuits and being accused of aiding and abetting his misconduct. So this is just a lot, and she's getting hit with one after another. Now, we watched this past week's episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I think the best advice, and she's not asking for our advice, but I think the best advice for her would be to not drink while she's filming because she says some really awful stuff. And fans are mad. They're upset, especially with what came out of her mouth this past week. Even her co-stars, the ones that are part of the Fox Faux 4, Fox Faux 5, whatever, Kyle Richards, Lisa Rinna, Dorit Kemsley, they were like, we can't defend this. But if you guys missed the episode, this is what happened. In a recent episode, Erika defended her controversial decision to keep the $750,000 earrings, which Tom allegedly bought with clients' money. And during a heated fight, Erika's co-stars, who have no involvement in her case, thank you, Reality Blur, suggested that she give up the jewelry to help the alleged victims. Erika then famously stated, "I'm not guilty. That's why I fight as hard as I do. I don't give up about anybody else but me." Oh, now, as this episode aired, of course, fans were very quick to voice their, disapproval of her comments on social media. And amid all of this, Erika also took to Instagram. She said, "Stand tall and never back down." Well, okay. Then she reposted a message which revealed some new and unverified claims about the diamonds. And this came from Zach Peter, who we went on tour with. So Zach's a great friend of the channel. But she said the diamond earrings don't go to this is what he said. The diamond earrings don't go to the orphans and widows. The earrings are tied to a completely separate case. The O&W case is a much more recent case that may not have even benefited EJ Global because Erika filed for divorce the same year as the settlement. Okay. Tagged in the post were castmates Crystal Kung Minkoff, Garcelle Bouvet, and Sutton Strack, who were adamantly against Erika's decision and insisted that she give up the earrings to help the victims, which a lot of people have said this. A lot of people have said, even if you didn't know, right? Say you didn't know. Say Erika did not know a thing. And we don't know if she knew or if she didn't know. As far as we know, she said, "I had no idea," and that she is not guilty of any crimes. That's her stance. So that's what we're going with. But after finding out about all of this, after seeing the documentary, The Housewife and the Hustler, after seeing the victims, after hearing their stories, I think what fans are upset about is it doesn't feel like there's any empathy. There's no sympathy. Right now, she's like, I don't care about them. I don't care about the victims. If they've been done wrong, hopefully the system does its job. Right now, I'm heavily focused on me. But then when you post certain things like photos of you pinned to a cross with earrings that say widows and orphans, and when you're saying, I don't give a fuck about anybody but myself, it looks bad. She can even agree that it probably not that it probably looks bad. It looks bad, but she would probably agree to that now looking back at it. She even said, I believe it was on the after show, that there was one scene this season that she wishes she could, take back. And I believe it was this Aspen scene. And what's wild to me is we're sitting here talking about this, not making too much of a big deal of what Erika was saying within the cast. But then Kathy Hilton got pissed off because Lisa Rinna is trying to taunt her with this 818 tequila as opposed to the Casa del Sol, when all of the women are always promoting their businesses. We have Rinna Beauty, Rinna Wine, Pretty Mess Hair. I don't even know where that's at. And then we have, just multiple, I don't even know their other businesses, the Sutton Concept. We could go down the line, but we're promoting all of these businesses. And the moment that Kathy Hilton is trying to promote a business, it's like she's scoffed at, laughed at, and completely dismissed. And then not to, she did mean to make it worse, because when Kathy, in the upcoming episode, the preview of next week's episode, when Kathy's like, "Oh, they carry my tequila here." Lisa Rinna's like, they do? Excuse me, can I get a shot of that 818? It's my friend Kendall Jenner's tequila, which I feel like Kendall Jenner's like, I have no idea who you are. Let's go back. These claims are unverified as a judge has since ruled the earrings, which were paid for directly using funds from Tom's law firm, will now be auctioned off with the proceeds helping to pay off Tom's debts, which will likely include the victims who are owed the money. The auction is being overseen by the trustee in charge of Tom's forced bankruptcy, and despite this ruling by the judge, Erika, who claimed that she wanted the case to play out in court, has appealed the judge's ruling. As for now, the auction is still set to go forward. I don't see them giving her back the earrings. Unfortunately, Erika is now confronting another lawsuit from the ex-girlfriend of Nicolas Cage. According to Radar, Christina Fulton claims that Erika assisted Tom in fraud and theft. We talked a little bit about this, but I don't really know where this woman's coming from. Let's get into it. So she's claiming that Erika assisted Tom in fraud and theft. Now, however, a judge recently ruled in a separate case that there was no evidence that Erika knew of her husband's alleged activities. She is now asking for the new case to be dismissed and requests that Christina pays her legal fees. I can see that. Erika's team says that the singer and her company further deny generally and specifically that they have engaged in any wrongful conduct, that Ms. Fulton has been damaged in any amount or at all by reason of any act or omission. Christina claims that she was not paid the full amount of a $900,000 settlement when she was represented by Girardi and Keith's attorneys, John Kelly Courtney and Samantha Gold, after she was involved in a car accident. The actress claims that the firm cashed the settlement check without her consent and that she allegedly received just a $5,000 advance and no other payments adding up to, or she said a few other payments that added up to $190,000. She alleges that Tom, Erika, and her lawyers misappropriated the unpaid portion of the settlement in order to fund their wealthy lifestyle. How many more people are going to come forward, though? This was a complete outright forgery, as Fulton never endorsed the check and certainly never agreed to have it deposited. The check was never held in the trust, but spent. It is beyond shocking and pale that the firm would conceal the arrival of the check and not obtain Ms. Fulton's endorsement as required by law. As of now, the judge hasn't ruled on Erika's request. Now, after winning her last court battle, Erika's attorney, Evan C., I believe it's Borges or Borges, I don't even know at this point, but let's just call him Evan, told Page Six that the other aiding and abetting lawsuits will fail for the same reason, because they are based on no evidence. Now, if the judge rules in Erika's favor, Christina may have to pay Erika's legal expenses. So she might have another win under her belt. And I did mention that before. Just like when we talk about the bad stuff that's coming out, I think it's important to talk about the wins as well, because we can't just, dig, and then something positive comes out for someone, and then let's just try to sweep that under the rug and not talk about it. I want it to be completely fair, and I want to talk about what's going on. And honestly, I miss Emily D. Baker. I want her legal commentary on this. I want to pick her brain, but I will. So with that, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Have a safe weekend. Bye, guys. Love you.